Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Jesse, your DM.
Cody playing Lazarus.
Brennan playing Diz.
Mike playing Nim.
Britt playing Kenna.
And we are Double Doubles and Dragons. We're a group of goofy Canadians that have gotten together to play a little D&D. Sometimes we will say things that are inoffensive. We mean them as jokes, of course, and they're certainly funny to us, but some people may find this offensive. If you do, we apologize, but we don't want any hate mail about it. So just don't listen, okay? Let's jump right into the action. Okay, welcome back, everybody. So, let's do a little bit of recap, since we're just sitting down for our first session today. I have... Everybody used their inspiration last session, except for Lazarus. So, Dis, Nim, and Kenna, I need reasons you believe you should be inspired from last session.
You're all being caught in stealing your eggs back.
So Diz went to steal the Fabergé eggs back, despite that being a horrible idea. Also, Nim...
Can't really argue with that.
Kenna assisted.
See, now, are you allowed
Kenna
to be
assisted?
inspired by that after the fact, not knowing it was going to be a bad idea?
Oh, no,
I
we
feel
knew it
like
was a
Dis.
bad idea.
I feel like Dis knew it was a
We
bad
knew
idea
it
going
was a
in.
bad idea.
Dis isn't tenor. He knows his ideas are bad when he goes in. He just does them anyway.
I'm pretty sure we mentioned too, like, there's still guards around the building. Oh, we'll get it anyhow.
There was a lot of guards around the building.
And I want to point out that
I'll give him
even after the armor started lighting up, we pressed forward.
yeah, that's a very good point.
That's not ominous at all.
You know what? I guess you all did that together.
We did.
So I'll give you all inspiration, but only because I believe you may need it.
Uh-oh. That's not ominous.
While we're kind of talking about stuff, we know obviously Lazarus is not part of this horrible shenanigan. Mm. Lazarus has instead been spending his day in a delightful shopping trip to get you all things that he believes you might need. Things like a grappling hook, a neck shroud, 5 feet of rope 2 times.
50, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, 50 feet of rope. A large tent. A large sleeping bag, I assume for obvious reasons.
So that one.
2 holy water flasks, a hooded lantern with some oil. This one I wasn't sure. Is it 4 candles and 4 tinder boxes, or just 4 candles plus 1 tinder box?
1 tinder box.
Okay. That's how I ended up pricing it out, but I wasn't sure. A crowbar. You know, when your priest is getting you burglary tools, you know things are going bad. And then a backup arcane focus and a backup druid focus. So you went out shopping for all of these. Nothing too extravagant, so...
Also, to explain the next round, just because it's just... You know, like, for the paladins, they have, like, the cloth going down. It's that bolt of cloth that lays in the layer around his neck that kind of... Yeah.
Yeah, it gives you that, like...
Yeah, so he's gonna finish off his...
Yeah.
Regal as fuck.
It's just a scarf, right?
Yeah, it's that big, heavy scarf, but...
It's not Scooby-Doo scarf, it's, like, fancy scarf.
I'm trying to figure out if this is just the adventurer version of a scarf.
Well, so, like, because...
No, that'd be an ascot. That's the adventurer version of a scarf.
Especially with the half plate, he has it just... It's the cover and the top of his armor and the tuck, and then the other material just comes out of it.
I just find it amusing because you could call any scarf a neck shroud, and I want to do this now.
Go
so
for
I'm wearing my neck
What's it
shroud
called?
today.
I just called it neck shroud.
I think it has a proper name, but I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that comes out as a total of 154 gold.
Yeah,
I broke it down for you.
And again, it was pretty cheap.
Yeah, wasn't. I mean, most of the things you're looking for are pretty standard adventuring gear.
Wait, so when we went to the bank and deposited our money, did we deposit all of our money?
No, you each kept some.
We each kept some.
500. Well, you guys kept 1,000 each. I kept 500. He kept
And then
2.
and then we piled it all in. So what is our guild bank at? Like 40 something?
And it's
Oh, it has to be over 40 because we at least had 10k each. Oh, never mind, but we took
51,541 gold.
Right.
For those of you that watched last week's episode and were like, I can't believe they spent an entire hour talking about a bank. Don't worry, that's not happening this time. They're just double checking their money this time, we swear.
Alright, so 54k. So we're pretty.
I will deduct 154 from my 1,000. Because I'm the only one that fit.
As a minor RP note, I will note that the guy you bought all of the gear off of, when you were like, I need a large tent, he kind of looked at you and was like, yes, you do. And he gave you a 4-person tent.
I also was all sleeping on the ground the whole time, so now he actually has a...
Yeah, now you have a big sleeping bag.
Comfy times.
I wasn't sure exactly what their sleeping bags would look like. So I kind of just left it as like more of a default fabric. Although I originally did toy with the idea of you just being given like 2 cow hides that had been like sewn together.
Well, basically,
and like
what
that's your
I'm
sleeping
thinking of
bag.
is a blanket sewn to another blanket that can fold over.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's basically
But where does the tail go?
around me somewhere.
out a hole.
Schrodinger's tail. It
Side
exists
hole
and
for
doesn't.
his
But it's just only if it's only stitched to one side. The tail's
Everybody
good.
likes to have one leg out for temperature regulation. Lazarus just uses his tail for that. Just sticks out the side.
Now, do Dragonborn have sweat glands, or you just start panting when you're super hot?
Lizards
What's the
don't
physiology?
sweat.
Right, because he's cold-blooded.
Lizards don't pant either.
But then how...
He just gets
I don't
really
generate
hot.
my own.
I just think
I
we
don't
have to-
generate my own heat in that way. I have
Yeah.
to
So if we
sit
go
in the
into
sun to
any
get
cold
warm.
area, you're just dead.
That's a good thing to think
Kenna
about
just,
Dragonborn-wise when
like-
you go to the new area.
Every once in a while, Kenna just casts heat metal on him, and
Keeps them nice and toasty.
But he's not wearing any metal.
Well,
Don't
I'll
up the
some-
level of the snow when you cast it.
The character's not metal.
no, it has rivets in it. So it's-
Yeah, I'm sure it's got attachments of
Yeah.
various kinds.
Maybe your
Anyway,
scales could be considered metal.
Getting ever so slightly off topic.
Yes.
What happened last session? So we did some banking stuff. And you guys got all set up with a bank, and you've got a little key that'll take you there, and you've got your gems on your rings now that'll take you there, and you've been warned very specifically about not letting people touch your bank ring. A good call. And then you guys were like, you know what? How much money was in the guild bank again?
54,000.
54,531.
You guys were like, you know what? 54,000 blah 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 is not enough gold. We need to go get those Fabergé eggs.
immediately after counting, like this isn't enough.
I feel like everybody Scrooge McDucked their money in big coin piles, and then we're like, it's not enough.
Just slap the pile.
I can't buy a lordom with this.
Oh, I just
My
thought of
50
like 100 stacks of like 50 coins, and then you trying to backhand that. Cartoons lie. That must hurt like a
Yeah, it really
bitch. I feel like hitting a concrete wall. But yeah, so you guys decided you were going to go get the Fabergé eggs, and how to describe it? You went to go check out the building, and you saw some guards, and then you were like, but it's cool, we can sneak by those guards, and then you started to sneak by the guards, and their armor lit up, alerting them to something being nearby, and you're like, okay, that's bad, but on the other hand, Fabergé eggs. And proceeded to run your ass into the building. At which point you got inside, got into the pantry, made a bunch of noise, and then got screamed at by somebody on the other side of the door. And then the door opened, and you all tried the football escape version.
Well, there was first the
I just
impersonation of
realized
the
something
inspector.
That's true.
That would have been so much smarter. Because I've been down here before through a vent in the ceiling, so if you guys had thrown me through the vent up top... Fuck.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about the
Good
multiple
ideas.
ways this could have happened
Yeah.
differently.
To be fair, there could have been guards on the way there too, maybe. Like going up to where we could get you into the vents. But I
All
don't
we know for sure right now is you've
It's
been
probably
heard in the
pantry.
pantry. There are at least 2 guards on the other side of the door. You've opened them and launched yourself out at them.
Ken is a mouse.
And hopefully that's the only guards.
Yes.
and
Because
also
if
whipped the
more
dagger
guards
past-
were attracted.
You also whipped a dagger near them.
That's right, that's right. There was a dagger thrown and Kenna is a mouse. I think that was the gist of it. Of the
That
plan.
Light was casting
yeah,
the dagger.
light
Yeah.
was cast on the dagger too.
Yeah. Just trying to, distract them. Look, a distraction.
Who are you about to distract?
All right. Anything else anybody wants to bring up? I mean, obviously you've got other very important things going on, but right now you got to get out of this building. Okay.
She's the stressy.
So, Lazarus, you've been doing your shopping,
Yep, I'm just
blissfully unaware of what's going on with the rest of the party.
I'm just happily recording stuff down to my inventory.
Yeah, I feel like you're staying there, you're like, this would make a great paladin scarf. And in the meantime, they're just screaming. But I hope the other guys are having as much fun as I am. Do I get it in blue or purple? See, I make fun, but Lazarus is venturing right. He's got some money, he's buying some shit with it, everybody else is trying to get arrested.
I've been arrested in at least 24 hours.
We haven't had a court proceeding this game yet. By God, we will start now.
Not that we haven't been close to them.
Yeah, that's true.
This is true. Very true.
I should say, so people are aware of the inside joke. We've done a couple of different campaigns together as a group, and the group ends up in court a lot. like more than I feel like would be average or appropriate.
Is this like,
We've not
to be
been in
fair,
court
is
since
getting
I've
like
been
us going
partners.
through a whole court proceedings
It's been
the
about
only
2
thing
years.
that I was the first one to cause for?
That's true. That's true. You were the first.
We are due for another appearance.
The group has not gone to court since I've joined, so we're about 2.5 years since.
That is a long time to
Overdue.
go without being arrested. Let's see if they can correct that. Okay, well, I mean, sounds like we're ready to go. So, to lay out where everybody was, more or less, Kenna was a mouse. Who were you hiding on?
I think I was gonna aim to run out the door.
Okay, fair enough. And Dis, you had thrown the dagger that Nim had put light on. And then I think your guys' plan was just, you were just going to bum rush the door and hope to just get the hell out of there, basically.
Yeah.
I think Dis actually shoved one of the guys, and I shoved the other guy.
Yeah, you guys are both
We
going to
actually
try
go
to
in the
shove
middle.
on your way
Yeah.
out.
As a mouse, also, I want to like be playing up that I'm just this very scared little mouse.
Lots of loud squeaks. Squeak, 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 squeak.
No.
Or
Mice
whatever.
Don't really squeak when they're scared, but they like get all
Dart.
like derpy.
Darting in circles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kenna's going to make for the door, then just slam into the door, do a couple of spins, and then wander out into the kitchen.
Like, what is fucking happening?
And you have not all of the Fabergé eggs on you, because everybody was just shoving them in their pockets.
Not all of them, but I have a lot.
Yeah, but you do have a lot of them.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So with that being said, I don't think we rolled for the shoves. So let's do that now. Let's see how well
Even
that
if we
goes.
did, I don't think we remember what.
No. And I feel like I stopped us before we rolled, or it was just after we rolled, whichever.
Well, this isn't gonna go well.
Don't say that.
But it's true. It's gonna be a nat 20. It wasn't a nat 20.
What was it?
They did better.
It was a nat 10.
That's the net 10.
What did you roll?
Perfectly average.
15.
Oh, well.
I'm glad that the gnome is stronger than the drow.
By a ways.
He was thrown off balance by throwing the dagger,
That's
and
right.
Nim is closer to the ground.
Yeah,
My strength
I
can only do one at a time.
I've got the leverage on him.
Yeah, he can go right for the knees.
And I think
Right.
what I said was I wasn't exactly shoving him. I was punching him in the back of the kneecap.
And I was trying to like sweep the leg. I was sweeping the leg. I was trying to get any reason that it wouldn't be a straight athletics check, and I was trying to go off guard because, like Kenna said, this is not the most athletic of people.
All right, I'm gonna roll the guys you're shoving. So let's do clear dice for Nim and the darker dice for Dis.
Oh no.
Okay. How'd you guys roll?
How did you roll?
That's not how this works.
No.
I mean, I could just tell you if you want. I rolled an 18 and a 15.
Oof. Who got
Which was the 18? I mean, you dis no matter what failed.
I think, sorry, 18 is yours.
Okay,
It's
maybe
disses.
you're good.
You might be okay. What's your strength?
I don't have plus. It's
You're
just a flat 15.
Oh, so you tied.
I tied.
I had 11
Okay.
for our peace
So, now, I won't necessarily say that combat needs to necessarily break out, but we are going to do this in a little bit of a turn-by-turn fashion as best as we can, just because anytime anything gets serious, D&D kind of goes turn-by-turn. So, Kenna makes for the door. The two of you blitz out with your best distractionary attacks. Dis, you're trying to sweep the leg. Nim, you're trying to like get under and like punch them in the back of the knee. And kind of as the door opens, you hear the two guards kind of shielding their eyes for a second from the brightness of the dagger. And then they're, stop! And then you guys both hit them. Dis, you go for the leg sweep, and you're not sure if the guy just like braced for it, or if it's just because he's wearing full plate mail armor and leg sweeping's a little weird with that. But yeah, you crack, and it's like, ping! And the leg, like the armor on the leg, glows faintly where you impacted on the runes, and you just get nothing. And you just kind of
Is there like no
are stuck
rebounding
there.
force back on me either? Like,
Yeah, it feels super deadened, like you just kicked something super
Ooh.
gooey.
That's a.
And then Nim, you do get a little bit better. You hit from behind, so there's not as much like padding there, and because the knee naturally bends that way, it's a little bit easier to get them to move. So you hit him in the leg, and he kind of like starts to drop, but you do see him kind of like reaching for you with one hand. So we're just gonna roll a hit and see if it lands. That's definitely not going to land. So, Nim, you managed to kind of like duck from under the arm, and you're past him. But this is not.
Then can I sing what's like, obviously knowing what happened with me, I guess before I even saw what happened to Nim, because that was at the same time, really, I want to just go, make a break for it! And I want to cast Darkness on the dagger that was thrown.
What voice was
That
that?
was so-
That was the one voice I used, or tried to use before. I didn't want to run for it.
Right.
Sorry, no reason to use your real voice.
Get
He's
it.
just looking at you in the face.
Okay, so
How do you guys know?
you
Pick up the-
cast darkness on the dagger. Yeah, and just instantly everything's shrouded in darkness. Kenna, you too, because you can't see through it, even with my vision.
But we're all heading in a direction, whereas...
Yeah, you're all like kind of aware of what direction you're heading in. Nim, so you would need to make a choice in that split second of you saw that Dis didn't get by, and then he yelled make a break for it, and everything went black. Are you just making a break for it, or...
Mine's... No, I'm kidding.
There's only one way out of this!
And another building goes up.
Man.
Well, I was going to Phantasmal Force the guy that Dis didn't get by, but I don't think I can see him now.
Definitely not. On the plus side, he can't see you.
One
Go
second.
invisible, run away. Get away from the armor. It glows.
I will note, because you're all in the darkness, you have no idea who else might be in the room. You saw the two guards at the doorway, but you're not sure what's beyond that.
Did you read Pass Without Traces before you went mouse?
Yeah. Well, we were passed without trace from before.
Yeah.
So we're still good on
No,
that.
you dropped it because their armor was glowing.
But then I repassed without trace
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
before.
then you...
Yeah, because I thought that
should
was
have
like
it right
the
now.
Hail Mary
Yeah.
trying to... So, I mean, in the darkness, you should all be very stealthy.
Can I perception check with my sense of smell, which I have advantage?
Sure.
See if I can smell other people that are not my people.
Sure. That seems fair. Go ahead.
You aren't my people.
I just have
You aren't my people? What do you mean, your people?
advantage on wisdom perception checks.
Isn't that all perception checks?
But I'm just reading what it says.
I don't know. I'm just...
And you keep your perception from... Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Not too bad.
Yeah, as a druid, you always keep your mental stats.
You keep your
Oh,
mind
boy.
stats.
One day I will play a character that knows what it's like to be able
Wise.
to perceive things.
23.
Okay. Kenna takes a moment in the smoke as a tiny mouse, and she just kind of takes a sniff. So, first, pungent rogue.
Okay.
That's gotta be this. And then...
Pungent.
and then very clean smelling individual, probably Nim. And then two burly scents.
Okay.
Very masculine, musky smells.
I was this here multiple times.
And kind of as your nose like seeks out a little bit in the room, you don't really smell any other like large source of smell outside of the obvious. Like there's remnants of old food and cleaning products, such as they have anyway.
Okay.
But overall, it seems to be just kind of the small set of you.
Okay.
If somebody else is coming, they're not here yet.
Okay.
I mean, it's your turn, so to speak. So what are you gonna do?
I mean, I'm gonna. I don't want to scream. He said make a break for it, so I'm making a break for it, and I'm gonna stay stealthy and quiet and just like run in the direction I was running in previously to get out.
Okay. Endgame, where are you trying to get to?
Outside of the walls. From this location, I would know that the quickest... I don't want to go the way we came because they were already suspicious, so I'd want to go at the front.
Okay, so you'll kind of take that left out of the pantry,
Yeah.
out through that hallway and out towards the main door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And if I'm, like, as soon as I'm out of the darkness, which I know will happen at some point,
Yeah.
I would like to perception check again.
Okay, fair enough. So we'll let you start running. Nim, what are you doing?
How far away from Dis was I?
Like under 5 feet? I mean, you were basically just on the other side of the guards to him.
Well, he said make a break for it, so I'm just gonna make a break for it.
Okay. And where are you running?
The same direction. I mean, was I on the stairs?
Mm-mm.
No.
No, you were just heading out of the pantry.
Yeah, but wasn't there stairs up out of the pantry, or am I crazy? No? Okay, I'm crazy.
Not that I recall.
Okay,
It's
Yeah.
basically your main exits, because you guys have been in here quite a bit before, so you can go to your left, which leads to that ground floor hallway, which leads towards that main room that leads out the front doors. There's also to the right is that back door you guys came in through the kitchen door, which takes you out through basically the way that you came in. Those are like the two main ways out of the kitchen, although obviously not the only ways. There are windows and stuff like that, but...
Windows, you say?
Nim missile!
Magic missile, hold on tight!
Can you put the disc down, then get on it, then fireball under the disc, and then like rocket yourself
Oh
through
my
windows?
god, that would be amazing.
I don't think the
rocket.
disc lets you ride on it though. Like it's only for stuff.
No, because the disc doesn't move if I'm within 6 feet of it, or whatever, 15. It's some amount of disc.
Well, this wouldn't be voluntary movement.
It just happened.
Well, it's just a force disc,
but
though.
could,
So.
but
Yeah.
could disc get on the disc? Because it's just you can't be on the disc.
No, he's right. It's just made of force.
Disc could be on it. I mean, we were talking about putting Lazarus on it. So yeah, I'll make a break for it. I'll go left, because I don't know which way Kenna's going.
Okay.
And yeah.
All right, disc, that leaves us with you. So both guards, at least as far as you're aware, are blinded. But you're still on the wrong side of them. So what's your plan on for getting through them?
So I'm going to just take stock, like right before I would have cast darkness, I would have looked back at them and saw exactly where the positions were, and I'll just try to sneak right around, I guess, like go around the guy, unless there's a big enough gap in the middle to try to just slide through or something like that.
I mean, the potential is there. You're pretty acrobatic.
Yeah, so I'm just I'll go for the slide then, if it does seem like there's room to go in between before all went dark.
Let's do what is that, an acrobatics check, I guess? You're trying to do like a very stylish dive.
Yeah. Advantage?
I mean,
think
they can't see you to close their legs, but you can't see them to get through the legs well, but you would have at least, like, planned for it. So, yeah, I guess advantage is good.
Okay, sweet. Here we go. Advantage 2 to 20.
Oh,
On
God.
it, 29.
Okay, so here's how all this kind of lines up. Everything goes black, and these two start running, and you go for just the mad dive through the legs to come out the other side. Kenna and Nim both end up heading the same way, which is towards the left. You're not there yet because you're just getting through the legs, and you'll still be inside the darkness, though at least you'll kind of know where you're at. So, Kenna and Nim, you both breach the darkness at more or less the same time towards that left door. Dis's darkness has a decent radius to it, so you actually had to go through the doorway to breach the darkness because it's all kind of tight in that back corner of the kitchen. And Kenna and Nim, you both come through the darkness at almost the same moment through that hallway, right into 3 guards running towards the kitchen. So you come out of the darkness, and there's just 3 of them at the end of the hallway, just booking it towards the kitchen. They're still a good, 60 feet away from you, but they're definitely coming. And it's a straight hallway, so there's no not being seen once you breach the darkness. I mean, one could argue with Pass Without Trace. I mean, you can try it.
I
Maybe
would like
there's
to try.
something you could do. Give it a go.
Mouse.
Yeah.
I would like to.
Yeah, I don't necessarily mean that they're gonna, like, pick Kenna out. Nim's a little harder to hide.
Well, especially my blue.
And the hat. And the bright yellow hat.
Okay, well, I'm past, and I would like to be stealthy.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Can we give him disadvantage on stealth?
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Only one.
You'd like that, wouldn't you, plate wearer? Alright, how did Kenna do?
24.
Okay, so I mean, like, Kenna feels pretty sure, like, she's skirting the side wall and figures, you know what, they'll probably be interested in more things than the mouse. Unfortunately, the more things she's talking about is Nim. Nim, you can try to pass without trace as well. I mean, the hallway is filled with stuff. Like, there are, you know,
Sure.
decorative things and stuff, so there's a chance you could have hidden behind something as you came out. And pass without trace, you know, does help with that, so we can kind of see how that goes.
Not well. It's 17, I think.
Okay. I mean, it's not terrible. As you come out, you see them, and you kind of instinctively tuck and roll behind a decorative vase. You're not sure if they saw you or not. You felt like you were pretty fast, but one way or the other, they're coming this way.
Question: has Nim ever seen a T-Rex? No.
There's only one way out of this.
Dun dun.
Breach the roof.
Yeah. I want to. Okay. Are we gonna do this? Yeah, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna polymorph myself into a bat.
Okay.
And just chill behind the vase and hope they.
A bat! Fucking freak.
All right, so Nim very quickly transforms into a bat and tries to tuck his way behind this decorative vase. Which leaves us with Nim. Now, Nim, you're in a unique situation because you're still hidden away in darkness and unfortunately have no idea what's coming down that hallway. But you didn't know they went to the left either. So it's kind of up to you which direction
No,
to
I'd
go.
follow I'd feel where the pass without trace was on me still, and I'd just follow and try to stay within the range of that.
Okay,
Sure.
that's fair enough.
So I would go to the left, but I probably wouldn't go as much to the left because I'm still blindly going through the darkness. So,
Yeah, you're kind of like
yeah, so
reaching out.
I'd go out for it and then just, keep trying to stay on the edge. If I went the wrong way, I probably would try to go right and then go back left as soon as I walked out of the range because I think pass is still a decent, like 15?
30.
30.
Yeah,
so,
30, so you'll be all right. So you're not heading right for the door then?
No, I would, once I'm past, I would try to get out of the darkness and while staying into the pass without trace.
Yeah.
When I got out of that, I probably would look down the hallway, I would think.
Well, I mean, you'll have to.
'Cause I don't see
You'll
you,
literally be looking down the hallway.
So.
Okay, so as you breach the darkness, two things happen. The first is you don't see anybody right away of your own team. Nim has hidden himself as a bat behind a vase, and Kenna's doing mouse things, which, I mean, mice aren't the easiest thing to pick up in the world if you don't know exactly where to look for them. So yeah, you come out of the darkness, and again, there's just the three guards barreling down at you, which will give you a chance to pass without trace as well and, like, do something clever. But at the same moment that you're doing that, you hear the two guards behind you yell, "They're getting away! Dispel!" And then the darkness just disperses. So you'll have to hide behind something fast.
Damn, is the pass without trace still up?
Yes. They only knew about the darkness, so they couldn't dispel the other. Plus, dispel only dispels one thing.
So I'm literally being and with the clothing. How dark are the walls around us, actually?
Wallace's color taste. It's not quite Trumpian to the level of, like, gold leaf all over the walls, but there's not gold leaf all over the walls. There's also red trim and tapestries. It's, like, kind of dark. It's a darker shade, but it's still very, like, glittery.
I want to go up to the wall. Is there any, like, statues or anything in this room?
Yeah, the hallways are totally decorated with odds and ends and knickknacks of varying degrees of trying to express one's wealth.
I'm going to go to a corner, I'm going to go to a nice spaced area very quickly on the side that's, basically I'm just out of the line of sight of the guards coming down. And I just want to take, like, a statuesque pose. the pass without trace and try to stealth that way.
Okay.
Try to line up the gold
Okay.
on my clothing as well with the stuff behind me, so it even like the statue breaks up a little bit. Try to make it look
All right.
legit, and then I'm just going to.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's an interesting plan. It might work with how weird the walls look. So
I have a glove with the ring. Yeah, because my ring's gloved. And I'm going to make sure the pose I take is something that doesn't require a huge amount of effort to sustain over time. Like, I'm going to make sure
Probably
my
a good
arms are
plan.
down. And
okay. Yeah. I guess do the stealth with the pass without trace, and let's see how statued you can be.
36.
Oh.
Okay. So, Dis comes out, the darkness dissipates, and he just immediately is like,
Strike a pose.
of whatever pose he desires.
I like that one.
So, now we have to find out if the guards coming down saw any of you. Why would you roll like that now? What possible purpose does that serve? Alright, I have an idea for this, but I just want to throw it out there that I just crit 3 times in a row.
What? No.
like literally crit 3 times in a row. Better now than in combat.
We're all going to jail.
No.
So,
Well,
34, 24.
yeah, no, it was good stuff. Like, even with a 20,
Yeah, no,
because there's no
no.
automatic
Yeah.
succeed on a perception check.
ain't nobody
So-
seeing.
Except for those two.
The way that the way that this goes down is you all find your spots and you're trying to be like really silent. I assume even Kenna at some point just like
Yeah, oh,
tucks
I
in
would
somewhere
I
and
would
just
find
tries to hide.
a nook or cranny and just like...
So, everybody's hiding behind stuff except for Dis. So, Kenna, you're hiding best you can, and Nim, we know, has batted himself and is hiding behind this vase, so he can't see either. So, all you two hear is 2 sets of boot prints come out of the kitchen, and 3 sets of boot prints coming down the hallway, and they all stop within about 5 feet of where you all are. and a conversation ensues where it's just sort of like, did you see where they went? Where who went? The 3 people in the kitchen. I didn't see anybody coming from the kitchen. Has this statue always been here? And they're just like, all 5 of them are just kind of like milling around this area because the 2 guards are super sure somebody came this way. And the other 3 are kind of like, we didn't see anything. So they're just walking around this area. Just taking a really close look at things. It honestly gets to the point where one of the guards that's in the kitchen, the one that Dis tried to kick, is standing like right in front of him and is just doing like the leaning right into the statue. He's just kind of like, you know, this kind of looks like the guy that tried to kick me.
Discord avatar in full effect.
Just like,
Beads of sweat.
yeah, just doing the super sweating. And, yeah, so he stares at you for what feels like a really long time. But eventually, one of the other guards that's with him is like, standing here staring at the statue, ain't gonna find him. Everybody split up. And they just separate in different directions.
I'm staying hidden for the time being.
Now, the whole time this was happening, you noticed that their armor still had that pale glow to it. Like, it was definitely picking up something. But that didn't help them find you directly. They just knew you were in the area. So 2 of them go down those 2 little side rooms. 2 of them go back into the kitchen, which leaves just 1 guy who kind of hovers around for another minute or so and then begins walking down the hallway back towards the front door, leaving you alone, but not very far away from each of the guards.
Was the glow of the armor any different than when we came in past Low Trace and Invis?
Not really.
Okay.
Or at least not to your untrained eye.
Okay. Can I, over the time here, have I made out where, actually my eyes wouldn't, I would have had to keep, like, my eyes straight.
Yeah, I mean, if you can perception check over each other's stealth, you might have been able to see each other, but you all rolled pretty high.
But Pass Without Trace? Actually, that's a good question.
Would I
No,
be able to feel where they are?
Yeah,
I rolled
My
lower
spell.
than her passive.
Okay,
That's
then chances are you at least are aware of Mike.
would my
Dis
stealth
is like-
include pass without trace from Kenna's point of view, or would it be without pass without trace from Kenna's point
Yours
of
I
view?
don't think matters because the only reason that your pass without trace worked is the guards don't know exactly what you look
Yeah.
like. Kenna and Nim know exactly what you look like. They're not going to be fooled by you standing there looking like a statue.
It was actually just it's a good question. I'd never thought about this before, but like for somebody who's in the pass without trace and has it active on them, do they see the other people in the pass without trace? Like if they went to perception check to find them?
I assume it works like invisibility. Like, if you're invisible and another guy's invisible, you're both invisible. You can't see each other. Same with the pass without trace. You're being super stealth, which also means you're super stealth from each other, unless your perception is high enough to see each other. And there could be an
Or-
argument for Kenna having
Yeah.
a vague idea of where you are, because she can feel the magic. But that's not really
That makes
like...
sense.
In D&D rules, it more just makes sense from a perspective of if you're casting magic on people, you can probably feel
Feel
if
it.
the... To a degree, I mean,
That-
we don't want to get into territory of her casting pass without trace and then, like, detecting you through walls and shit like that, but I'm
Okay,
sure
that-
there's a vague sense.
That makes a lot of sense. So then Dis probably doesn't see either of them, just knows that definitely they're here because pass without trace is still on him.
Yeah. You
Or at
know
least
at the
know
very
Ken
least
is
Ken is around.
Yeah.
And Kenna's aware of Nim because his stealth wasn't super high, and she's obviously aware of you because
And I'm assuming
your disguise does nothing to people
Nim and
that you
Kenna are
know.
both just like, how has he not been caught?
Yeah, I'm sure like Bat Nim is just sitting there going, wish I thought of that.
With this. We need to get a stealthy outfit to wear when we're traveling. By the way.
Yeah, I'll get a...
Yeah.
What's the ninja garb called again? Like,
Oh, the key, the...
Yankee.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a vague idea of where Dis is.
No, you have an exact idea where
okay,
Dis
so
is.
where is Dis?
Dis is literally just standing against one of the walls in the
But
hallway.
is he across from me? Is
Yes.
He beside? Okay.
Yeah,
So
he dove
him
left.
Him and Nim are both across the hall from me.
No, I think Nim's on the same side as you.
Behind.
Instinctively, Nim said he ducked right, and I think you were right as well, but Dis said he went left.
So
And
yeah,
what am I behind right now?
You just hid behind anything you could get your hands on, so probably just like a pillar that something's sitting on. Something fairly generic.
I really wish this was our old campaign where I could just like mentally talk to you guys.
That was passive or trace read?
Like this.
It's, what is it, like you make less sound and you're harder to detect?
Yeah. You can't be tracked except by magical means. We leave behind no tracks or traces of our passage. And a veil of shadows and silence radiates from you, masking you and your companions from detection. For the duration, each creature you choose within 30 feet of you has a 10+ bonus to dexterity.
Yeah, and that's really part of why your statue thing worked at all, is because the pass without trace kind of makes you a little less, like a little blurrier and a little less like perfectly shaped. So you looked vaguely like the guy that kicked him, not exactly like the guy that kicked him.
And that silence it extends, I'm assuming that...
We could talk within it.
Can we talk within it? Yeah. Like if we say something, would the guards not hear it, but we would hear it?
It depends on how far the silence extends. Because if it extends from you 30 feet and not just from the people it's cast on, then that means all the guards would have had their own sound muted while inside of it.
I think it's people
But
that's
it's only
active
people
on it.
It's
But
only
that's what I mean.
yeah.
That's why I think the silence extends from each person a small distance, not radiating from
Yeah.
you in a way that covers a whole room.
It's probably, I
So
guess-
like if you guys talk quietly, the idea is that quiet talking doesn't breach that small cone of silence around each of you. If you talk loud enough, it'll go through. But then they could hear it potentially too. If you got close to each other, you'd probably be fine.
How far is Dis from me?
He's on the other side of the hallway, so like 2-3 feet.
How far is Nim from me?
Depends on how far you ran, but I'd say about the same distance.
Okay. I'm gonna stealthily make my way over to Dis.
Okay. So you
Across the hallway.
just like squeaky, squeak, squeak, squeaky.
Yeah, and try, but I'll try to go towards Nim and like give like a very quiet squeak that hopefully only he hears,
Okay.
and then go over to Dis.
Okay. So you guys are kind of trying to quietly get together. Nim, do you figure... I mean, you know Kenna's a mouse, so I'm sure you'd probably be listening for mouse signals to a certain degree.
Yeah, I think I'd pick up on... Well, and I see Dis. So...
Yeah. He's blurry, but, I mean, he's definitely still Dis.
You know what? I mean, I haven't used any spell slots, and I'm just going to revert to Nim form.
Okay. So you just kind of... I assume you move out from behind the boss first.
Well, I'm not like between the boss and the wall.
I assumed you kind of like tucked yourself in there to be hidden, but I assume you'll come out before you.
Yeah, I'm not going to just like tip the vase over and...
Son of a bitch!
We were doing so good. Polymorph yourself into a broken piece of glass.
Yeah.
Hide with this.
Super stealthy. Except I think only true polymorph can let you turn into objects.
Yeah. True polymorph the BDEG into a sandwich. The sandwich. What now?
Fight over. Okay, so yeah, you all come together. So you're all standing beside Dis.
Or did Kenna run up onto Dis, or is she just beside him?
She said she went beside him.
Okay.
I wanted to tuck myself behind him and just like tug at his pant leg.
Alright, so I'll notice that.
Yeah, and there's now obviously... I mean, Nim is still hard to see with the Pass Without Trace, but, like, you guys are aware of how it works. You know what to look for. You have a vague idea you're all together.
Alright, in that case, I'll just crouch down and wait for Nim to get close to for, like, the powwow.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get as close to Dis as possible.
Now, to give you an idea of how tenuous the situation is, in the time it took you for Kenna to signal Nim, get across the hallway, and for Nim to do the same, and for you all to powwow and kind of bend down together, guards have gone by twice, and you've had to just kind of like stop, wait for them to go by, get a little closer. So like they're actively searching the area. They're not going far because the glow lets them know that you're somewhere around here. They just don't know exactly where.
What if we... Hear me out here. Can you cast Invis ability?
You cast invisibility.
And if you cast that in me and you, and I put Kenna in my pocket, maybe we just book it like the same way we came in. And then the second we're outside the gate, we just all ring out.
Sure.
All to the farming run? Market run. Sewer.
Vault?
Yeah, you vault is an option now.
Oh yeah, actually.
Yeah,
let's just go to the vault.
Vault?
Good call.
Oh god.
So the vault.
You're gonna like put the item into the vault and some automatic stolen item detection is gonna trigger and just like
Warning! Unfenced materials detected!
Stop there, criminal scum! All your
You have to pay taxes to the Thieves Guild! Oh god, the whole bank's run by the Thieves Guild.
I mean,
Could be. Okay, yeah, so that seems to be the plan. So,
I'll cast a level 3. Well, I'll let Kenna jump into Dis's pocket or whatever she's gonna do.
he said pocket this time.
The only reason I had to go into his pants in the first place was because if I didn't, I would have been caught.
It's true.
I was in his pocket that time too.
That's how Dis gets all his women. If you don't get into my pants, you're gonna be caught.
Dis hasn't gotten
You have
any
one
women
choice.
since I've known him.
It's true.
True.
He had Sasha, but that never really worked out so far.
Not so far.
Based on the way
Forget
we're-
motion
yeah.
by the time.
Based on the way we're going, it's not gonna happen.
No, but now he'll get to ride in with very nice clothes, a good reputation. She'll remember.
It'll be like the Prince Ali.
Oh god.
That was a good movie.
Please don't make me sing a whole song about Dis. I can't figure out what rhymes with Dis.
Not only want
Here
it, I
comes
demand
this,
it.
check out this.
He's got new clothes now. Okay, so you invisible. Everybody reroll stealth. Invisibility gives you advantage, and then Pass Without Trace obviously does the +10.
Ooh, nat 20.
Oh wow, I don't need advantage apparently.
2 people didn't.
No.
Did you nat 22?
I'm not gonna inspiration this because.
just because. Okay, how we do?
It was stealth we were rolling?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. What's yours?
34.
Okay.
34.
32.
Yeah. I definitely don't think you needed the inspiration then. Okay, so you guys all feel pretty quiet, and you begin making your way out. I assume through the front door still.
We're running, right?
Yeah, you're just kind of like... just trying to be super casual.
Super stealthy
Super stealthy casual.
30. Oh, I said 32. Okay.
All right, so
Just in case it matters.
the hallway is more or less empty, as is the front room. You breach the front door, and the front yard is pretty empty. The gate is closed, and there's 2 people standing on either side of the gate.
To open the gate, you have to go into the little house, right?
The guardhouse, the one where you put rings before.
Yes.
You've opened this gate
Yep.
before.
Yeah, that's where the mechanism is.
And
It's basically just a big
is the
crank.
person standing in front of the gate or in front of the guardhouse?
There's one person standing on each side of the gate. That puts him kind of close to the guardhouse, but not like inside it. He's more just on the outside of it.
Or do we just...
How high are the walls again?
Like 10 feet?
And I think they got that serrated glass.
Yeah, they've got like
Up.
serrated glass and like attached barbed wire and...
Or we can just go through the backyard.
Just like we're-
Just like burn around.
Yeah, I guess we could go check the backyard. It's probably not a bad idea since we're all
Okay.
stealthed up.
Yeah, so you guys kind of slip around. The side is fairly empty. You're not sure if that's just like people have kind of moved around trying to find you or what, but it's fairly quiet. You can see the hole in the fence that was created while they're trying to, take everything apart here. So you guys look like you have a pretty much clear shot through the fence. Caesar, stop it.
Okay.
I guess go close to the fence. I want to check
I would
something.
like to perception check out the fence.
Okay, 1 second. Roll your perceptions.
Passive 19.
And then I'm perception checking, I suppose, for how can I help this? Because your perception should be better.
Yeah, and sorry, what are you all looking for?
I'm looking to see if guards have gone outside of this hole.
Okay.
I'm looking to see if there's anything that's stealthily held up here to block the hole or to stop people from going through it.
Okay.
And I also... So, well, I guess I'll check that first and then I'll check something else. It's probably a different roll.
Okay.
9.
Okay.
What's your passive?
Sorry, passive for 16.
And Kenna, what was
19.
yours? Okay. So, you guys look at the hole. There are a couple of guards standing at the hole. There's basically 3 of them, like one on each side and then one kind of in the middle of the breach. They're all standing on the inside of the fence, and right now they're all looking at the house. They're all kind of like monitoring it that way. That's all you can see visibly.
I wanted to see... actually, shit. So they're on the inside. So it doesn't look like anything's covering the hole. It looks like it's just...
No, doesn't seem like it.
How big is the...
It's like 15 feet across. They've already taken
Okay,
down
right,
a
right.
decent amount of the fence.
Okay.
And there's only a person standing in the middle of that?
Yeah,
Or
there's
like-
one guy on either side, and then there's one guy in the middle.
It's like magic's concentration, right? Or is it?
Yeah, it is. Or... Pretty sure it is.
What?
Detects of the magics.
Pretty sure it's 10 minutes concentration.
So is... But it can also be ritual.
Yeah, rituals can be concentration though.
Oh, okay.
1 sec. I will
I
check.
don't know.
Yeah, it's concentration. So if I
Yeah.
use detect magic, we all become visible.
Oh, shit! Oh, boy!
Need one of those rings of double concentration.
Give it time.
Is there any, like, rocks, like, debris sitting around? Small things, throwable things?
I mean, they've started deconstructing things. So yeah, I mean, there's like loose bricks, a little stuff like that. There's little rocks, chunks of brick. It's not a pristine yard.
I guess I want to pick up a rock or something that's around.
Mhm.
I want to look. So I want to look in the direction the guards are looking, and I want to find someplace around the house that looks like this, right around an edge,
Mhm.
where conceivably we could, come out of. And I want to toss the rock as close as I can to make some sort of distraction at that point.
Okay,
Preferably aiming for something that's gonna be really loud, like a window or something like that. But
fair enough. Are you aiming to like...
I'm aiming to get these guards to actually move over there.
No, what I meant is like are you aiming to like break a window or just make a sound?
Like
or...
a sound, like a tap off of it, so a smaller rock compared like pebble almost. Okay. But I want something to go, like, to make them interested in that area more so than like breaking the window might just imply that we're running out or...
Okay.
Yeah. That's gonna raise some more questions.
Okay, so you're basically trying to pick up a rock, throw it at a window that's kind of far down a little bit, just so it gives them somewhere to run. Is it down the building, like the back way, or down the building, like around the side, like they'll kind of run towards you but past you?
So I want, the side we went along, you said that was pretty sparsely populated right now? Yeah, that way. Something where they know it's not populated, so they're like, oh shit, they could actually be over there and nobody would have said anything.
Okay.
Type of thing. So yeah, I would go in that direction, which would probably take them past us.
Okay, sounds good.
So
just a window on that far end, kind of back behind you a little bit, trying to get them to kind of run past you and around maybe to the front or something.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So you pick up the rock, you go to throw. I need the attack roll for accuracy.
Okay.
So just like you're throwing anything.
And just to make sure, this isn't going to drop my invis for attacking.
No, you're not attacking. You're just tossing something.
Okay, just make sure. Sorry, this would just be my... How does this roll work? I go at 9 is what like my rapier is, without a +1.
Yeah, how do you do unarmed throw? It's just unarmed,
or is it
right?
just... Do you add proficiency, or is it just your proficiency?
I think... Do you have proficiency in slings?
That's actually a really good question.
Do you have a sling?
I do not have a sling, no.
Because I assume you're just throwing it with your bare
hand.
hand,
I'm just
right?
bare-handing this toss. So I guess like an
I thought there was a rule for throwing rocks, or something of that variety. Give me a sec. In the meantime, is anybody else doing anything? Because you wouldn't know that Dis has this plan because he's invisible.
I'm invisible inside of his pocket, so I really don't feel like I would actually
you do a whole lot.
Do anything.
That's fair.
What time is it in the day now?
Let's see. They've been at this for a while. I forget. Did you guys wait for cover of darkness?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. So it's probably like maybe 8. Like it's not like crazy long after
so I'm
dark.
Back at Lil's Tavern, just chatting with her by myself.
Yeah, you're probably just like, wow, it's taking a really long time to come back. Did you guys told him what you were gonna go do, right? He just didn't want to be a part of it.
You are gonna fabricate.
So I mean, like at a certain point, you're gonna be like, wow, they've been gone a while.
That's why I'm having all the alibis. Going around shopping and talking to people.
That's perfect. Be like, no, I was with Lil all afternoon. Oh, here we go. See weapon properties. Okay. Please stand by. Don't throw small rocks a lot. You can throw the weapon. I think it's just as long as if a weapon has the thrown property, you can throw the weapon to make a ranged attack. If the weapon is a melee weapon, it's not. So I think you just do it like you would any thrown weapon. It'd also be a basic weapon, or whatever the hell the word for that is. It'd be a simple weapon. Or a martial weapon.
So for...
simple.
Proficiency in simple, or...
Yeah, if you have proficiency, I think you can...
Simple.
Then you can do the same attack roll you would for your weapon, right?
Yeah, so it'd be... Yeah, my dexterity plus my proficiency, so +9.
You just don't add the damage, because it's not a weapon.
Yeah. This would be +9, so 19.
Okay. So you feel pretty confident.
I've got an improvised thrown weapon, has a normal range of 20 and a long range of 60.
Yeah. And he's not throwing much further than that, so it should be fine. Okay, the next thing I need from you is a luck roll.
Alright. Oh shit. Yeah, I know.
But do you want to use inspiration on a luck that might mean nothing?
True. I'm gonna use my inspiration though, because it was a good call.
Or was it? Oh,
okay. 11. I'm slightly above average and compared to 6.
Okay. So slightly above average is good. It means you won't get hit. Doesn't stop the thing from happening though. So Dis has a plan. Nim, you said you weren't really doing anything. You're just kind of waiting. I assume you're all not like holding hands, but like I assume you've got a way of kind of figuring out where everybody is while you're all invisible.
And pass without a trace.
Yeah.
Pass without a trace.
So, Dis picks up a rock and chucks it at the furthest window on his edge of the building, trying to give them that thing to run towards. Now, unbeknownst to Dis, not all of the glyphs of warding have been removed from all of the windows yet. That happening to be one of the windows.
Oh, gosh.
So, Dis takes his rock and pings it off the glass, and there's that very quick, like, tink! And, like, you all watch as all three guards kind of turn towards the window, and you're like, yes, it's working! And then the window explodes. Showering glass everywhere.
Well, you got a good distraction.
There's a bit of a fireball that kind of like licks up the side of the building, and immediately all the guards are like, we gotta put it out! And they just start running towards the window. So, I mean, it worked.
Peace out.
Very long story short, it worked.
Unintentional arson.
Unintentional arson, but it worked.
Run.
Okay.
Run.
So, you guys, the window goes off, everybody starts running to it. You can hear people in the front gate yelling and saying that they need to come down. And, so you guys just book for the entrance. Or, not the entrance, the hole in the wall. You guys run, and as all three of you hit that breach, there's kind of you don't, like, dead stop, but everything slows down as you're trying to cross the fence. Like, you feel yourself, like, running through a thick jello almost. And as that hits, you kind of hear, they're making a break for it! But in that moment, you breach through the slightly thick liquid.
I
to the vault.
jump out of Dis's pocket. Actually, no, can I travel with you as a
Yeah,
mouse?
because
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, so then we just stay.
I was
You're
just
fine.
imagining the flip of a mouse out.
Just back flipping.
So you all immediately just, and you're instantly teleported to the sewer.
The vault.
Oh, sorry, your vault. Right. I don't know. People said sewer first. But yeah, so immediately you're all just kind of into your stone vault area that's been given to you. There's your pile of gold. And seems okay.
I get out of Dis's pocket, come out, and I repoof as Kenna. And I say, I don't know if we should stay here, because what if they had a tracking device that, like, tracked us back here when we ran through that super slow, sludgy stuff?
It's a good point. We also need to fence these.
Just pull out shitloads of
I think
fucking
we
rich.
should go to the sewage rung, then we should go to the farming rung, then we should go to the market rung, and just, like, time hop.
We do that. Or can you detect magic us in?
How about we,
I guess we can do it.
how about we download the Fabergé eggs here for now? Because it's late and, like, we kind of, maybe we should just, like, wait, let the heat calm down a bit, and then we'll fence them, like, tomorrow or the day after.
Yeah, I don't think we
That's a
should
good
fence
idea.
these right now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Merely pointing to some realism, I don't think the heat dies down in, like, a day.
No.
You guys might want to, like, give
A
it a
couple
week or
months.
two before you try to
I mean,
fence
it's
this
D&D.
shit.
They just
Yeah,
got to go and repaint their wagon, and it's fine.
And it's fine. No, see.
We're just going into the garage.
Somebody stole
Hand
red
spray.
Fabergé eggs. These are terribly painted blue Fabergé eggs.
How many Fabergé eggs did we make off with?
You don't know. You guys just shoved as many as you could get into your pockets before you got in trouble.
How
You're
many
not
did
even
we-
sure if you got them all.
So suppose that's the count then.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I guess, we're going to count them out and just put them into just safety area here in the vault.
Okay. So you're going to stay here for a moment and count them, or are you just going to kind of chuck them in here and get out?
No,
No.
we'll count them here, I guess.
Yeah, let's do the count as we toss them out. I mean, it'd probably be pretty quick to just be like, 2, 4, 6.
Okay. So then, everybody roll a luck roll. How many did you
This
get?
is where I should have kept inspiration.
Oh, I'm using my inspiration.
Oh,
Okay, Nim's using his inspiration.
all for loot.
I mean, when else should one feel
Nice.
inspired if not by loot?
Just may have lost something.
They're broken in your pockets.
No.
No! It's from being a statue. Okay, how'd everybody do?
16.
Okay,
19.
okay.
7.
Lucky seven.
Okay,
Seven.
so... Yeah, we'll call it that. So, you guys start pulling the Fabergé eggs out of your pockets. It's not a perfect system. You know you didn't get all of them at this point. Like, it was just, you had to get out. So, what you ended up with was, Nim, you take out of your pockets 10 eggs. But 2 of them have just been completely shattered by the events of trying to get out of here. Leaving you with 8 functional eggs.
Okay.
Kenna, you have 8 eggs in your pockets, and you pull out all 8, and they're fine. Mostly because you shapeshift so early that they really couldn't get a lot of physical forces attached to them. Dis, you had to, like, kick and tuck and roll, and it was a little rougher. You were the greediest of the group to begin with. You actually had 12 eggs in your pockets. But as you start, like, pulling these eggs out, it's like, broken. You're like getting super pissed off as you keep pulling out these eggs. And you end up with 3 that look pretty good, like they're fine, and 1 that like maybe with like a little bit of effort could be okay, but the rest of them are just completely obliterated. So you have somewhere between 3 or 4 eggs.
Shit.
The rest of like your clothing, like when you open your cloak and stuff, like those pockets have like bits of like gems and shit embedded in them
But we
now
still
because
have
it's
the
shattered in
gems.
your pockets.
That's true. I'm gonna
Yeah, like
shake
the
out-
Fabergé eggs aren't usable anymore, but they're still covered in gold and gems.
Yeah, I'm gonna
and-
take the time to like make sure I empty it all out too, so there's no
Yeah.
evidence on me, and I'm just going to make sure all the like shattered pieces are all still like together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, obviously the gems that make up the eggs are worth something.
And based on our first haul of Fabergé eggs, netting us like 50,000, 60,000 gold.
Wait, don't forget, part of that was also the funds from your downtime activities as well. That wasn't
Right.
all Fabergé egg.
But okay, so we probably netted what, like I
like
think it was
half of it, I
like
think.
half of it was
Probably somewhere around there.
So to ballpark, how much did we make off? Like how much did we earn in Fabergé eggs here? If
With
we
what you've got-
have
if you ignore
20.
the broken ones for now, you're probably looking at about 20,000 gold in terms of
so like
eggs.
1,000 gold a pop, basically.
Yeah, more or less.
Good. Makes sense.
That was
Yeah.
worth it then.
They're not
Yeah.
insanely rare. I mean, Wallace had like 100 of them, so it's not like they're so rare they're worth a ton. They're just very pretty.
Lots of gems.
Yeah.
You could save one for your
For Sasha.
girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I forgot about you.
It may have been a while since we talked, but have you met my friend?
Or take some of the gems
Wait,
to
yes,
make her
twin.
take some of the gems to make her a small Fabergé egg. Get it commissioned.
That sounds like a very sensitive thing that Dis would probably
Never
be too
do.
stupid to do.
Unless him and Kenna had this talk.
Yes. Dis, we're gonna have to talk about your insensitivity.
It's the intelligence difference between the characters. This is like, I brought you an egg, and Kenna would be like, I brought you a 401k.
I mean, yeah, probably. What's your intelligence?
13.
Yeah.
I'm above average.
You're not that bad.
Surprisingly, actually, I thought it was lower.
I'm only 3 smarter than you.
It's all about how
That's
you play your
actually-
character.
that's
Don't look at me.
Right.
Like slowly panning over to Lazarus over here.
I feel like,
That-
9.
but see, here's the thing though. I feel like Dis plays his intelligence lower
Yeah, he does.
for
I mean-
entertainment's sake.
Yeah, that's true.
All right,
He's
so
got far too much wisdom to do that.
you guys are in the vault. You've got your loot. Everything seems more or less fine. We're gonna take our break, and then we'll come back after that.
Makes me nervous.
Wow, what a cliffhanger. I wonder what's going to happen next time. Seriously, guys, thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening in. If you liked what you heard, share us with your friends. If you hated what you heard, share us with your enemies. Seriously, though, like, comment, subscribe. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll find out what happens to Double Doubles and Dragons next time.